Yo, what's up everyone? Daniel Yuck here. Thank you all for tuning in today. I appreciate it. Today I want to go ahead and unbox and bring you all an in-depth review on the Dragonhawk Slip Rotary Tattoo Machine. This is the box right here per usual. I want to go ahead and show you all up close, and we're going to go ahead and unwrap it together right here on camera. So as you can see at first glance, there is a pack here with O-rings and a tool there. I'm going to go ahead and just begin opening it, and we're going to go ahead and unbox it here. So as you can see, the box is just a straight black box, nothing fancy going on there. Let's go ahead and check out the machine itself. Let's see what's inside. And as you can see, we have the Dragonhawk Slip Rotary Tattoo Machine right here. And right out the box, what I will say is this thing is very, very light. This thing definitely feels like of quality. The build definitely does feel and look professional. This is a new machine by Dragonhawk. And as you can see, you have this right here to control the needle there. That's what the O-rings are for right here. As you can see, you have more O-rings, which is a great plus if you ask me. Now, this machine though, right off the bat, what I will say is it definitely feels of quality. This is what the machine looks like up close and personal here. It is RCA input. And again, this is the Dragonhawk Split Rotary Tattoo Machine. Overall, just from first glance and unboxing it with you all, this machine definitely feels of quality. It definitely feels great in my hand. It is not too heavy at all. It definitely doesn't feel heavy in any way, shape, or form. Most of the weight is right here where the motor is at. That's where most of the weight is. Other than that, this seems like a really lightweight tattoo machine. This is going to be a tattoo machine for soft and hard-hitting strokes. We are going to go ahead and get into the performance and setup of it. I did want to go ahead and just bring you all an up close look at the cosmetics and what this specific machine looks like up close. Overall, it definitely looks like a great quality machine. I do give it a thumbs up for the way that it looks, for the feel of it as well, as I am big on that. So that's the cosmetics. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this set up so we can go ahead and test some performance out and put this machine through some testing here so we can check out the performance of it. I do give it a thumbs up for cosmetics and feel. So let's go ahead and dive into the performance side. So it's to my understanding, I can go ahead and set up the slip with a reusable grip like so, which would plunge basically a grip that runs cartridge needles, or we can go ahead and set it up with disposable tubes and barred needles, as you can see here. So I guess for this demonstration we should probably do both since we have access to this here. So let's go ahead and we're going to start off with the needle cartridge version, and then we're going to go ahead and set up and then see how it goes. I will go ahead and do an in-depth review on this specific grip right here, but for this I'm going to go ahead and stick to the slip here, and we're going to review the slip. So as you can see, upon putting the grip in, it wasn't too difficult at all. I can go ahead and simply turn and adjust, and the slip is now mounted to my grip right here. What I can do is I can go ahead and grab one of my push rods here, as you can see, and I believe I can go ahead and attach it to the grommet up here. So I'm going to go ahead and make this looser so that way I have leeway to go ahead and put the push bar here. Then I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the grommet like so. Okay, so it is now attached to the grommet like so, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to now adjust this aspect so that way it holds the needle down. I don't want it touching the needle because I don't want it to create friction there but I do want it a little bit out, as you can see. So I believe this is the setup that we would approach, or that we would take to go ahead and use cartridge needles. So we're gonna go ahead and open one up here. Go ahead and apply it. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is, now I have the Dragonhawk airfoil power supply right here, as you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and fire that up. So as you can see, we're running at 5.5 volts, and it's pushing the needle cartridge just fine. We're at 5.5, we're at 5.9. And as you can see, it's pushing with ease. It definitely feels soft, as you can see, low noise, low friction as well. There's not much vibration. I was actually expecting this machine to be louder, surprisingly. But this is actually surprisingly smooth. As you all saw, the setup was very easy. And this is the first time that I've ever really set up a machine like so. I never really used these sort of machines. So it's actually really cool to see how this would work. But as you all can see, I'm pushing needle cartridges, so I can go ahead and just switch out the configuration with ease. So I'm confident that the same approach is going to apply to the disposable needle tubes on barred needles. But as you all can see though, we're pushing at 8.7, let's go up to 9. We're pushing at 9 volts, and it's pushing smooth. This thing feels smooth and clean. It doesn't feel adverse. You all hear it as well. That's super smooth. I'm not having any adverse issues. I don't notice any adverse issues. You can see the system right here working as the needle's going. That's doing its job, as you can see. So this new locking system really does work. That's amazing. Can you see it bouncing back and forth right there? So I just wanted to go ahead and show you that up close. We're running at 9 volts right now. We can even take it down to like 6. We're in 6 volts right here, and you can see it. We're at 5.6 volts, even lower. And you can see this thing just putting in work. So you can see this machine putting in work. This thing feels amazing. The vibration is low, the noise is low. I'm personally loving this machine. I have a feeling this machine may be really good to pull some stipple shading with, really smooth lining. We are gonna go ahead and test the performance here shortly, but I wanted to go ahead and show you all the setup on camera and let you all hear how it runs with the needle cartridge approach. Let's go ahead and get this machine set up with a disposable tube, and let's just go ahead and see how that goes as well. Okay, so as you can see, it took me just a few moments there to set this up with a disposable grip. You can go ahead and wrap this with a napkin to make this grip fatter, but for demonstration purpose, I think this will do. We're gonna go ahead and plug this back in, and I love that we don't have to use any more rubber bands because of this new locking mechanism here. I'm really enjoying that slip, the sound of it. As you can see, adjusting though on the fly is not difficult. The performance, you can go ahead and adjust the depth on the fly. It's not difficult at all. The feel and performance is great. We're at 7.5 volts right now, running a barred needle right here. I personally like the needle cartridges with this specific machine as it's super smooth. However, this is not bad either. And as you can see, we can get into the lower voltages. So like right now we're pushing at 6 volts. This will be perfect for stippling if you were gonna go ahead and do that sort of approach. Go ahead and adjust your needle depth as you see. But as you can see though, overall, this is pushing at 6 volts and it's pushing fine. This will be a good voltage to get a stipple effect. You can see it's also putting in work. You can really see that this new locking mechanism right here really does hold that needle in play. It does keep everything running smooth, low friction, low noise, low vibration. I'm a personal fan of what they did there. I'm a personal fan of this machine in general. Even running at lower voltages or running the way it is right now, it's not getting hot or anything like that. As you can see, smooth sailing with barred needles. It's smooth sailing with needle cartridges. They both work on the Dragonhawk Slip here. This machine is quickly growing on me, or this style of machine is quickly growing on me, and I'm also a big fan of this locking mechanism. Let's go ahead and dive over to the performance side of this. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna switch back over to this grip right here with the bar that I had previously showed you all, and then we're gonna go ahead and test out different configurations. Like we're gonna push some mags, we're gonna do some lines, stuff like that with the needle configuration setup. Now, that's just my approach, as I won't really ever be using barred needles to tattoo, as I do use needle cartridges as my preference. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate with that grip. I just wanted to demonstrate how easy it is to switch in between, how easy it is to go ahead and, again, switch in between needle cartridges, and how smooth it pushes both barred needles and cartridge needles. So let's go ahead and let's suit back up. I'm going to put this one back on, and then we're going to go ahead and test out the performance side of this machine. So as you can see, that was about a minute time that it took me to switch from the disposable needle tube to the cartridge, to the Ambition cartridge grip here. And again, it was swift, it was not difficult. This machine, it has really, I can't exhaust how quiet it is in person and how the vibration is next to none on it. Okay, let's go ahead and let's suit up now. What we're gonna do is, next we're gonna wrap this machine up, and then we are gonna go ahead and get ready to test some lines. We're gonna go ahead and test the performance of this specific tattooing machine. So let's go ahead and suit up. I figured real quick, before we suit up, for those who are wondering if it works with a wireless power supply, I am not too sure. So let's go ahead and try it right here live in real time. So this is a power supply also from a Dragonhawk made by Ink Claw. As you can see, we're running at 7.6 volts, and it does. As you can see, the Dragonhawk Slip does run with wireless power supplies as well, so you can still go wireless with this and use needle cartridges if it's your preference, like mine. So as you can see, this is one smooth tattoo machine right here. I just wanted to go ahead and throw that in this video as well and show you all that it definitely does work with wireless power supplies as well. Very cool. This machine is very cool. So again, let's go ahead and suit up now. Now this specific machine right here, the Dragonhawk Slip, is a bit more on the futuristic advanced side, I would say. It is not like my typical pen style tattoo machine. It's not like the Atom, the CNC Q2, or any machine like that. There's a lot going on here. There's moving components right here that are actively exposed. So what I'm going to want to go ahead and do, at the very least, I'm going to want to go ahead and put a barrier film around my grip along with some black grip as well to go along with that. So I would just use something along the lines of this, just a simple blue grip. I mean a simple blue plastic slip, forgive me. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that around the grip like so. Very easy, very straightforward. And then as far, I mean, in terms of how far I want it to go up, I don't want it to go up too high. I'm not really wanting my plastic to hang around right here, as this area does actively move. So we have this component that actively moves and this. So I don't want any plastic too much up there. I just want it covering this part of my machine, as you can see. So we have that going there, which is great. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna grab a little bit of grip and I'm gonna go ahead and apply it, as I don't want to be squeezing on that stainless steel grip the entire time. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the standard grip here. And then I'm gonna go ahead at the beginning, I'm gonna pull tight per usual, the very bottom. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and let it wrap on its own to develop a cushion. So that way I'm not squeezing on the stainless steel the entire tattoo session, or the entire time using this specific machine right here and this specific grip rather. So we have that set up. I also went ahead and I just grabbed a plastic sleeve, so that way we can go ahead and do this correctly, so that way we don't have to use our imagination upon envisioning how to wrap it. I always want to wrap my clip cord because 9 times out of 10 this is definitely going to touch a part of the opened area on the tattoo, especially if you're going to be doing like a sleeve or a big tattoo. Even on the arm, it doesn't necessarily have to be a sleeve or anything like that. So as you can see, this is how I'm going to go ahead and row with the machine, or this is how I'm going to go ahead and wrap the machine, as you can see. So the only thing that's exposed is the moving parts. You'd want to go ahead and get tape and go ahead and wrap it around here. And it's very, very straightforward. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and use what's readily available to me. I'm just going to go ahead and grab the grip from the machine itself. I'm just going to go ahead and kindly wrap it around the machine while applying the pressures in the correct area, only on this side, not on the wire end. So that way that holds right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process on this side right here, like so. So that way all of the moving components and everything is protected and away from the plastic. So this is essentially how I would wrap this specific style of tattoo machine, or this machine specific. This is exactly how I would approach it. Upon completing the tattoo, I would just make sure that I thoroughly wipe everything clean, removing the O-rings, wiping everything down with the super sanded cloth. That's how I would go ahead and do that. I'm excited to go ahead and dive into the performance, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and proceed to get out the real skin, scratch skin, and let's check out the performance of this tattoo machine. Okay, so here is the real scratch skin right here. This is real skin. I did a full in-depth review on this skin as well, so if you're interested, I will go ahead and leave links in the description below where you can get this skin on your end. So what I want to go ahead and do is I would like to go ahead and run through an assortment of needles here, from like round shaders to round liners, and I want to go ahead and pull some lines with this machine just to see how it runs. You know, the per usual, what we typically do to hear the machine out, to see the performance and all of the above. So I'm going to go ahead and do my best to shed as much light as I possibly can for you all. And this is the airfoil power supply. I also did a full in-depth review on that. So for this, we're going to be using the slip, and we're going to be pushing a Rain 14 round shader right now. We're using the airfoil power supply. We're running at 7.8 volts, as you can see. Now what I want to go ahead and do is I just want to go ahead and proceed to tattoo as I normally would. I'm going to go ahead and do this side over here. So what we're going to go ahead and do right now is we're going to start off by pulling lines. So I want to go ahead and pull some lines with a slip. I want to go ahead and see how it feels, and then we're going to go ahead and see how the slip inputs ink into the real skin right here. Let's go ahead and give it a shot here. And again, we were running at 7.8. Now for this specific style of machine, 7.8 seems a little bit weak. It's not pushing it the way that I would want it to. So I'm going to go ahead and take it up to about 9 volts even. So On these specific style of rotary machines, the voltage is different from the pin style, which is what I'm noticing right off the bat. However, if you just adjust accordingly, you will be good. Right off the bat though, I do like the way that this machine feels. The vibration is real low. So for pulling lines, where I'm comfortable is I'm pulling a line at 9.8. Now that may be really high within the voltage range on, say, a pin style rotary or pin style tattoo machine. However, this specific style of machine, this feels appropriate. This voltage feels correct for this specific style of machine here. I just want to go ahead and point that out. Let's go ahead and continue. It definitely does feel great. I think it depends on the system that you're using. So right now I'm using an Ambition grip that I will also do a full review on for you. And it has a little bit of give to it. I like the way that this system that I'm using here works. I'm at 10 volts even right now. And the machine feels great. The vibration isn't much. The grip itself that I have that I chose to use is heavy on its own. However, the machine, the actual slip machine itself, is not heavy at all. It's a super light machine. This setup though feels very balanced. The setup that I'm currently using, it doesn't feel heavy. It feels natural in my hands. It doesn't feel like I'm trying or forcing the ink in there. And as you can see, these are really nice saturated lines. So far for pulling lines with the shader, I think that this machine is really cool. I don't think that it's a bad machine. Now I understand why voltages go up to, you know, the 12, 14 volt range as it's needed for specific setups. So for this one, pushing at 10 volts, for me and this specific hand speed feels about right. It feels great. I think that it's pushing round shaders just fine. It doesn't have any problems doing so. What I want to go ahead and do is I want to switch over to, let's see here, something like a round mag. So we have a WJX 15 round mag here. And I want to go ahead and see how this machine pushes round mags. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some black here, and we're gonna go ahead and repeat the process. And I'm running at 10 volts, as you can see right here. I think in terms of like how good you're saturating it, a lot of it is gonna depend on your setup, like what tools, what equipment you're using. And the other half is going to depend on the technique, application, and expertise the tattooist available has. So as you can see though, it definitely packs. I'm trying to wipe it away. It's nice and saturated. The skin doesn't look like it has any damage at all either. And I love the way that it feels. The machine feels natural in my hand. It feels natural tattooing with. So overall, right now, I'm loving this machine. I'm loving how it packs black. I love how it pulls lines with shaders. I love the overall performance. What I'm excited to try is to see how it stipples. I'm interested to see how I can shade with this machine, and if it's good at stippling and how the effect looks there. So as you can see though, I'm having a little too much fun with that packing. This machine makes packing black seamless. I'm pushing a round mag here, packing black with no problems, with no issues, and we are running at 10 volts. That is the highest I've ever ran any sort of machine. Again though, this is also the first time I've ever used a machine like this. So I'm just adjusting as I'm going. So I am just going with it. I'm trying to figure everything out. I'm trying to figure out a workflow that I am comfortable with upon using this machine here. And right now we are pushing a 3-round liner. Now for this though, what I want to go ahead and do is I'm going to drop my voltage down. I don't want to be pushing this needle configuration that hard. So I dropped it to about 6.5. Let's go ahead and see how the Dragonhawk Slip performs stippling. So I want to see how it performs this sort of shading because I use this shading a lot in my tattoos. So I just wanted to go ahead and test it out and see how it works. Right now we're running at 6.5, and as you can see, we're really low. This is going to be a super soft hit. And as you can see, that is a soft hit. So I have to move really slow to match there, as you can see. And that's actually really cool that you can get that soft of a hit. I'm not sure if you can see that up close. I hope I'm doing this on camera frame. I am there. I'll go ahead and zoom it in here during the video editing. But as you can see though, I'm getting super soft hits, and with the speed of the machine and the hit combined with my hand speed, I'd be able to get more passes on the skin. But not only that, I can get more detailed. I can get more detailed with where I put the dots. I can put more dots in, meaning there'd be more texture in my work, which can only be a good thing. Sometimes, you know, less is more. That is going to depend on the design. But overall though, right now, running stippling at 6.5 on the Dragonhawk Slip is super, super soft. Let's go ahead and stipple maybe at around 7.5. See, so this is a bit faster. And this is a bit harder as well. So if I was needing to go ahead and do that, I can still stipple and get that peppered look at 7.5. I'm sure we can go ahead and do this at any voltage. It's just gonna be on the hand speed. But for me, I'm looking for a really soft hit when I stipple. And I like to move my hand, you know, medium to fast speed. I don't really move slow, so maybe 7.5, 7 may be a good range for me. Overall though, stippling is a definite yes. I would definitely use this machine for shading. I would definitely do that. I definitely love the way this thing shades. I definitely love the way it lays down these dots, and I love the way that it feels overall. It feels great when I'm stippling. So at this speed right here, I have to move in a very controlled manner, so that way every dot I put in, I have to mean it, which is very, very good for me and the work that I'm doing, as we should mean every inch of what we apply to anybody's skin. But furthermore, this right here, I love the way that this stippling feels, being able to go this low in the voltage and not having any issues, still being able to apply the ink to the skin. As you can see though, we have a very textured look. We're getting gradients. If we just go ahead and keep building up, we can go ahead and create some transitions should we choose. But for this, I'm just trying to demonstrate here for you all what it looks like, how it looks. That's amazing. Let me go and actually bring you all up close here. Let me stipple with you all right up close. I want you all to see this. Okay, so you're right here with me up close. I wanted to go ahead and show you what it looks like. I want to see if I can pass a better view here for you all. Let me go and get some more light on this end. So you can see I'm moving super slow. The hit is really soft, but as you can see, those dots are coming out perfect. You can just go ahead and keep building up. You can whip it out. You can pick up your hand speed. You can brush back and forth should you choose to. Overall though, this is great for whip shading, pepper shading, stipple shading, dot work. This machine is probably going to be my go-to for pepper dot this sort of work. I don't even mind having to have a completely different setup, and you know, by the end of the tattoo I can just put this in a chemical bath. I can go ahead and put this in an ultrasonic cleaner. I can do, you know, it's very easy to clean this up, so having another machine set up is the least of my concerns. For this feel, for this comfortability, for this specific look, this machine I would definitely set up so that way I can apply this sort of shading effect to the skin with this machine. I do feel like it would be less trauma to the skin. I do feel like it's a softer hit. I do feel like I could get more time over the skin, but not only that, I do feel I can get more precise simply because the motor is running at a slower rate here. As you can see, it's running at a super slow rate, so that allows me to put the dots where I need to. That gives me, again, more time on the skin. I don't have to try as hard upon doing so. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep going with it here. So as you can see though, this is coming out great. I do love the way that this works. I do love the way that it feels. I love the flow of this machine overall. Overall, I do give this machine a thumbs up. I do give this machine a thumbs up and a 5 stars simply because of its build, the design. I do give it a 5 stars because of this feature where it holds and mounts your needle as opposed to the traditional rubber band. I do enjoy the fact that it works with most grips on the market. This is a completely different grip, and it was compatible with this grip. It was compatible with the disposable grips as well. As you all saw, the machine is super smooth itself. The machine has no issues. I didn't experience not one adverse effect or any sort of adverse behaviors upon using this machine throughout this entire video. I am a personal fan of this machine. Again though, I do give this machine a thumbs up and a 5 stars because of the build, because of the design, and I do give it a 5 stars because of the performance. I haven't used it much, but from what I have used, I can definitely say that this machine would handle anything, or pretty much anything that I would throw at it. This is going to be probably one of my go-to machines. Let's say if I'm going to be doing an intricate piece, I would use this for dot work and shading. That's just my personal approach. Everyone may be different. You may like it for lining. For me, I do love it for pepper, stipple, dot work of such, as you all can see. Just because of that super soft hit, I can get more time and more accuracy on the skin. One last thing I didn't mention is, as you can see right here, you can go ahead and change the stroke length. So I have it on the first setting. You can go ahead and adjust it to the other two if you choose. I just want to go ahead and point that out as well. So you can go ahead and adjust the stroke length there. But there you all have it. That is my opinion. It's a thumbs up for me. I do love the Slip from Dragonhawk. If I didn't touch base on anything specific throughout this entire video that you may have wanted to know, feel free to drop it in the comment section down below, and I'm going to do my best to assist you in the best possible direction. If you're not, be sure to go ahead and give me a follow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, as I would appreciate your support. I do have social media all under the same name, at Daniel Yuck, DANIELYUCK. I would genuinely appreciate the support. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell, as I will be bringing more videos like this. Thank you for tuning in yet again. You have a great day.